Hey guys, welcome back to Faster and Louder. So if you've been following along, you probably know that I've been working on my 73 Javelin AMX. There's a couple different things I've been doing. Just to catch you up real quick, the engine and transmission have already been pulled. I did a buffing and polishing job on a paint. You can watch a video on either one of those things. I also already stripped the interior and got all the old stuff out, and all the panels are pretty much either sitting up here in storage or they're at my house waiting to get painted, which is almost completely done. But that brings us to the next thing that we're actually doing, which is the interior floorboard, actually. So what I'm gonna be trying to do today is strip off some of the surface rust. There's a couple of things I need to actually just get out of here first to get it completely ready for wire brushing and everything. You can see I have like a seatbelt buckle right there that has a stripped bolt on it, so I need to work on getting that out. And then there's just like little carpet remnants, and there's like old factory sound deadening that I want to get up. There's really not a lot of deadening though, which is kind of surprising. It's really just this like rubberized mat kind of stuff, which comes off pretty easily. Yeah, it's actually really easy. But then there's like some stuff underneath. I don't know, it's just surface rust and whatever. So I'm gonna try to take care of that as best as I can. And I would love to have this prepped to the point where it'll be ready for at least some rust neutralizer. And then after that, I'm just gonna be putting some POR15 on it, which is actually kind of like a multi-stage thing. So I'm gonna try to get that done within like maybe the next week or two. And this will be hopefully completely ready for brand new carpet that I already have set aside for it. I may have shown this in an older video, I'm not really sure, but I have a storage area up here, and I already have some carpet right here. I can't remember what this stuff is called. It has a weird name. I can't remember. It has a weird name. I'll try to find it if I can and put it up here so you actually know what to look for if you want to do something similar. Basically, it's just plain old black carpet. It's not like super thick or anything. It's supposedly pretty pliable, so like when you're actually trying to get on the floorboard, it doesn't fight you. That remains to be seen. Down here, I actually have a whole kit. I don't know how you pronounce this company, if it's Silas or Silas, but it's a sound deadener, and it's just the sticky pad stuff that you just peel off and then you know, put it on there. Here's some of the panels that I actually already painted, like with the visors and all that stuff. I already took the old seats out. This is the back seats, obviously the front seats, the headliner. I initially thought this was actually in pretty decent shape, but I started taking the visors off and it was just all really deteriorated, and there's a bunch of stuff like behind it. It was kind of like not glued to the roof anymore. So I started taking that out. I'm actually kind of glad that I did, and I'll show you why. I'm glad that I did that because as you can see, there's quite a bit of scaling kind of going on here. Ooh, that did not stay. And I'm gonna just try to get this removed as best as possible. And there's actually like a chassis rust reformer kind of thing. I think it's by like I believe it's like Eastwood or something. And you can kind of spray it in weird spots. Like I could maybe even just like stick it in here and spray it. And it just encapsulates the rust, so the rust can't continue to do what rust does. There's some tough spots that I'm gonna have to get to. Like back behind here, use a light. There's some rust back in here, which is definitely gonna be fun trying to get to. You know, and I'm not super worried about it because, I mean, for one, I live in Arizona, so it's probably never really going to get any worse than this, but I would like to take care of it wherever I can, you know? My dad was saying that this stuff up here might be from mouse pee. It's just pretty gross. And then there's like a couple little spots here, like where it looks like maybe water dripped and there's some kind of, I don't know what happened here, but there's little holes. It looks like it was where the back seat thing was resting possibly. So I'm actually gonna try to wire wheel that down, sand it maybe, and then just use like a little bit of I don't know, some sort of Bondo of some kind, just kind of fill it in and paint it. I'm not gonna get super crazy with it. I'm actually gonna do a rear seat delete of some kind. I haven't really come up with a solid plan on how I'm gonna do that, but I'd like to do maybe just like a sheet metal kind of thing just to cover this area, and then maybe I'll put some carpet over the top to make it look a little more finished and professional. But I'm probably just gonna leave a lot of the interior stuff out of here for the time being, because there's things I want to do to the like window mechanisms, and the doors need new locks, which I'm gonna have to get still, and I kind of want to make sure like it's all sealed up properly for the windows before I throw everything back together, because that's not really super easy. If I can't live with it being in this weird uncompleted stage, then I might just end up throwing them on there anyways. So as I already had mentioned, I've pretty much taken everything out of here. There was a couple things that I forgot about though, and I started doing that yesterday when I stopped by for a minute. And it's just these like kick panels, I guess you could call it. They're just the panels that are down on the side. I got that one out already. This one has a screw that's really hard to get to at the top, like in the middle, so I'm gonna work on getting that out. And then yeah, I think after that, it's just those couple little pieces I already mentioned, and I'll be ready to start wire brushing. I'm pretty excited, honestly. Got some stuff off the driver's side floorboard here. It's pretty slow going. I gotta say, it's gonna take me forever if I try to just scrape it all off without heating it up or anything. I haven't given up just yet. And like, I don't know how far up I'm really gonna go. I'm probably just gonna go kind of where that line is right there, just across. I think that I'm gonna get out the wire brush on the die grinder here and just see how much actually comes up. I'm definitely gonna put a mask on so I don't choke on, you know, mouse remnants or whatever. I'm gonna just give it a whack here and see what kind of progress I can make. And if it's too messy or it's not really doing what I want to do, then I might have to take some more drastic measures and get like a heat gun or something and heat up this old factory sound deadening so I can actually get it off the metal. So I'm gonna give that a try. Alright, so I just vacuumed a little bit, try to get some of the crap off the bottom here so it's not flying all over the place. But I'm gonna try my wire wheel and see what happens. Hopefully I can get some stuff up and make my life a lot easier. But my hopes aren't really that high. Holy crap! It's way too powerful for a wire brush. Alright, so that was a little intense. I had the big cone style wire brush on it, and it was just like the actual metal was like spreading on it. It was spinning so fast. So I'm gonna try this smaller wheel and see if I have any better luck with that, and if not, I'm gonna just use a drill probably and see how that works. I did get down to some bare metal here, but there's just so much crap, so much of that tar like shit that I mean, it just spins so fast it's really hard to be precise with it. So maybe I'll have better luck with this, I don't know. Almost forgot my safety glasses. There they are. There they are, on top of the car. It seems to be working somewhat decent. try to vacuum this up. Hopefully it vacuums. This is disgusting. This is not very neat. Alright, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep going this route using this method because, I mean, if you look here, it actually did a somewhat decent job, but this is probably like 1/8 of what I need to bring up. It's pretty much just this section here back up into this. So one of the issues I'm going to have is I can't really get up close to these corners. That's going to be really hard. And this is flinging stuff like everywhere. I don't even know if you can actually see. It's really dark. It's kind of just bad lighting conditions, but there's like little pieces of this stuff like flinging everywhere, and I was able to actually kind of vacuum up some of it, but it's just making a horrible mess. And I think I'm gonna have to just suck it up and get a heat gun. Let me take this off. So I've heard of people using dry ice before as a method, and that would be good if I could fill like the entire interior of the car like up to the sill. But there's really, I can't really, I don't know, I guess I could get like a piece of wood here maybe, and I could just kind of like pull it up in there so it'll go up high enough that it'll actually go to that line where I want it to stop. I'm thinking a heat gun might be more practical, even though it's already like 85 degrees in here, even with my swamp cooler on. Once this part's done, this is the hardest part, because this is all the crap. Like, there's nothing really over here. There's like some seam sealant stuff that they put on from the factory here and there, like some of that I don't know, it's just to fill the cracks and like cover the, like where the pieces met together and all that. Beyond that, it's all just bare metal pretty much. It was painted at one time. You can see like where the paint has come up a little bit, but all this stuff will be a little more easy. I'm actually going to give it a shot though on the carpet and kind of just see how that works. Whew, I was going to do that without a mask on. That was the wrong idea. Oh my god. Holy crap, that is messy. Wow. I got stuff all over me. Jesus. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna let that air out just a little bit there. Well, this does make quick work of the carpet. So there's that. That's nice. Well, this is the progress that I have so far. This came up like nothing. I just went over a couple of parts here just to see how it goes. And honestly, this is gonna make things quite a bit easier. Definitely not cleaner, but easier. So I'm just gonna continue a little bit and see if I can at least get like all these little carpet pieces off of there. I think this is a good place to leave off. I basically just did a quick once over. I didn't really get too in detail. You might even be able to tell the difference, but a lot of the big stuff I kind of just knocked down real quick. Obviously there's much more to do back here and up here and, you know, pretty much everywhere. It's working decent, so that's good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the heat gun approach, and I'm just gonna go over all the actual sound deadening, scrape it off, and then I'll just finish it off with the wire wheel, and I think that'll do it. Picking back up now where I left off last time, I've had probably a couple weeks away from the shop. I've been really busy. I have a brand new little baby girl that just came recently, So I've been pretty busy on, you know, more important things, honestly. But I'm back though. I'm gonna pick back up where I left off. I figured I would try a slightly different approach this time. It's the one that I was avoiding in the first place. Mostly because we're in Phoenix and it's just really hot and I really didn't want to do this. But I went to Harbor Freight and I bought myself a little heat gun. This thing cost me like $16 at Harbor Freight. I also got pretty much just like a scrape kit. It's got all this stuff, like little nozzles pretty much to direct heat. And I also got a little sander thingamajig. I'm gonna try to use this like on some more of the flat surfaces, like the roof up on the top where all the surface rust is. I got myself an actual respirator mask, so I'm not just breathing in pure dust like I was last time, rust dust. And then I got some lug nuts for my new wheels, so I'm gonna try to pop those on there and see what that looks like. Anyways, I'm gonna use the heat gun. I'm gonna start scraping and I'm just gonna see how well that does or does not work. So let's get to it. The plan here is to basically just warm up sections of the tar, whatever it is, on a floorboard, and I'm just gonna get it nice and hot. I'm gonna try to see if it'll just scrape off. So I'm hoping this works. So I got a couple little scrapers here. I just got like a regular, it just looks like a putty knife kind of thing. And then there's like a slightly different end thing here. Like a couple of the ends are curved and one's flat, but I don't know. I just figured I'd put it on there just in case I find it useful. So without further ado, let's get on this. Something. Well, it's hot, it's messy, and it's smelly too. But the good thing is, I'm making some pretty good progress. I've scraped off quite a bit. Still really gross looking, but I'm seeing that I'm making progress, and that's the important thing. This thing's smoking, so I'm gonna check that out. Here's good news, guys. The heat gun is working. It's not a clean job by any stretch of the imagination, but I spent probably a good 45 minutes on each side, just the floorboards, like where your feet go in the front, and I scraped off probably about 90% of it, and then I got some engine degreaser because that's the closest thing I have to like a paint thinner or anything like that, really. And I just sprayed it down and let it sit for a while and just wiped it off. And this is what the passenger side looks like after just one pass of that. So as you can see, a lot of it came off. It came off pretty good in this area over here. There's still some little specks of gunk here and all that I'm gonna try to get up a little better. Kind of missed a spot way up in there. But overall, it looks pretty good. I'll show you the other side. This is the engine degreaser on the driver's side. It's just sitting. You can see it's just kind of melting away some of that remnant tar crap. So I'm gonna let this sit just a little bit longer. I'm gonna wipe it off and we'll take a look at it and kind of reassess, see what I want to do. My initial idea was I'm gonna pretty much just get this like 95% clean, and then I was thinking about just covering the dash with some plastic, maybe the windshield too. And then I'm gonna get the wire wheel out probably and just kind of try to clean it up as good as I can. Obviously there's some surface rust I'd like to take care of just a little bit better. I I don't expect to get all the rust off. I just want to get it down to a point where I can put the POR15 on it and it'll seal it properly. Let's just see where this progress takes us. This is the last look after I did the engine degreaser. Used a scour pad right here, scuffed it up quite a bit with it still wet, wiped it all off. Then I used some brake cleaner. I'm using a lot of stuff here I'm probably not supposed to really be using, especially in confined area like this, but I just sprayed it down real quick, wiped it, and this is what it looks like. So we're definitely getting there. This is I would say this is the cleanest part of the whole thing so far, and this is kind of what I was talking about by just kind of making like a line, little delineation. I don't really want to get way up in there because I don't have the dash off, and I know that if I go up much higher than that, I'm just not really going to be able to apply the POR15 the way that I want to and all that. So kind of just leaving that section, that actual sound deadening or heat protector, tar crap, whatever. So I'm just going to leave that in there. You can kind of see where it's like right where it starts to curve straight up on the firewall. That's pretty much where I stopped it, and I did the same thing on the other side. So it'll be brand new, basically where your feet are. It'll be all new sound deadening and whatnot. So I am going to move on to probably covering this whole dash with some plastic, getting this whole thing covered up pretty decent, because I'm going to do the wire wheel and it's just going to make this all messy all over again. I kind of wiped it down. It's not perfect, but I wiped it down again just to get some of that stuff off there. That when I initially did this with a wire wheel, it just started flinging that crap everywhere. It's just stuck all over the place. I actually had to use some pretty strong stuff to get it off of there. So that's why I'm going to cover it up. But then after that, I can get back to this, which is going to be fun. I knocked off some of it, but you just can't really do a big surface area with a wire wheel the way I was doing it. So I have my little sander doohickey thing that I bought from Harbor Freight, and I'm going to try that out and see if I can knock that down a little bit. I think that it'll be a little more surface area, and I think it'll just be overall more effective. So we'll give that a shot. On to the next step. This is my oscillating tool. I got the little sander on it, 60 grit sandpaper. Might be a little tough, a little much for this, but you know, it has a lot of surface rust. So, you know, if it were painted, I might start off with something a little less aggressive, but I'm just gonna go straight in and I'm gonna go to town on this thing. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So far, so good. The heat gun working and getting that tar off pretty well really got me in a good mood. I'm feeling pretty productive, so let's keep that going. Everything sanded down a little bit. One of the steps that I want to do before I go through and just clean it all is spray it down with some Evaporust, and I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to use my scour pad again, scuff it in there a little bit, spray it down again, scuff it down, and then I'll just wipe it all off with some water and a towel, and hopefully that'll knock down the rust a little bit and I can get on to actually cleaning it. Making progress. Man, I need a shower. Visually, it doesn't really look a whole lot different, or maybe that's just because I've been working on this for like 5.5 hours. This is pretty much it. This is the end result. I should say about 98% of the brown that you actually see is paint. AMC just painted everything the same as the body color. So a lot of this is just paint. A lot of the rust that was here on the transmission column actually came out pretty good with the evaporust. I basically just spray everything down and I scrub it, spray it down, scrub it, and I kind of just let it sit for a while, wipe it all off, rinse it with some water, wipe that off, and then afterwards I use the rust neutralizer, and hopefully that'll kind of keep it from getting any flash rusting or anything like that. But I believe, well, I still have to wipe down the interior, or the top of this here with something. There's just a bunch of that rust residue, rust dust that's all sitting up there. I need to wipe that down. We're getting pretty close to being ready for the POR15. I believe I already showed this, but if not, this is what I have. It's like a kit. It comes in a box, and this is a floorboard and trunk repair kit. So it comes with like all these brushes, it comes with the gloves, comes with different kinds of paint. It has some epoxy putty and like some stuff to do a patch, I believe, or there should be something for that in there. Anyways, that concludes the cleaning part, I suppose. Now we can get on to actually putting the POR15 on there. All right, well, it's been a minute since I got to make any real progress on the floorboard, but today I actually did make quite a bit of progress. As you can see here, I put down one coat of POR15, and this is kind of what it looks like so far. It actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with it. I went up to that line that I was talking about right there. I did that because a lot of the stuff that's up here requires a little more intricate work to get around things, and eventually this whole dashboard will probably come out and I'll end up doing all that. But yeah, that's where I brought it to so far. When you're actually in like more of a seated position here, you can't even really see it anyways. And I'll probably have the carpet go just up, you know, just a little bit above it. That's what it looks like over here. And then this is another thing that I'm starting on. I haven't really finished yet, but I have these little patches over here, and that's fabric that's included with the POR15 floorboard kit. But I used it because that was like one of the unusual rust spots that I had, was those little spots here in the back against the package tray. And I still need to do another coat over this, and I think that'll be a little easier because it's a little more smoothed out now because of the first coat. And then I have some plugs I need to put in the floors here, that kind of thing, and then it'll be pretty much done for that part. And you can also see that I blew apart this a little bit more. So I took the whole front grille off. There's a little support thing that goes over the top right here. Got that out. Took the front bumper off with the support still attached. I took the, this is like the hood latch assembly, I guess you could call it. It's kind of like a somewhat structural piece also. I took a bunch of, there's basically like that plastic grill, there's like some supports that go up against the upper radiator support here, and took those off, and they're soaking in some evaporust. There's a bunch of, I have like a whole pail over here, that right there. It's all just sitting over there, and it's getting nice looking. But yeah, this is where we're at on this right now. This is gonna be a ton of work too, guys. Like, just look at it. Just look at it. All right, I'm just gonna pop open the top coat, and I'm gonna stir it around a little bit, and I'm gonna start applying it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my foam pad for this one, foam applicator. I haven't tried it yet, so I guess this is probably a good time to try it, I guess, and kind of see how it works. When you're applying POR15, it really sticks to your skin, so you want to make sure you do like I do and expose as much of your skin as possible. I think that's kind of what you're wanting to do, is stir it so it's not all clumped up in one spot. You know, you want the stuff to work properly. This stuff needs to be stirred more than the other stuff, it seems like. I thought this would be more thin and maybe not be as clumpy, but man, yeah, there's like chunks in the bottom of this stuff. Well, it ain't perfect, but neither am I, so we're good to go. All right, say a prayer or something. It kind of sucks because like everything is black, so I have no idea if this is really working or if I'm applying this as much as I need to. One thing I would recommend is when you're getting all your materials for this, grab yourself a lot of brushes. I was kind of lucky because I grabbed a whole set of brushes off of Amazon, and I already had these foam ones and I forgot about it, and the POR15 stuff, the kit that I got already came with brushes also, so I ended up having like 3 sets, thankfully. And I know you're not really supposed to be dipping into the can like this, but I am, so there's that. If you actually put this in a proper like receptacle for paint, a little tray or something, it would be easier to use a bigger brush and probably not take as long. But I like making things difficult for myself, so that's where I'm at on it. Honestly, I think I like the way that these work better than a regular brush. I might use these for the roof. Alright, I got the top coat on there. It is sitting. I just read the directions again, and it says it takes like 3 or 4 days, something like that, to completely cure and be totally hard. So yeah, I'm just not going to touch that. I'm pretty much done with the interior for now. As I mentioned, I still need to do the top here. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get into these channels and stuff, like up in here. I want to patch up that little area right there. This is where I was saying all that stuff is stuck up in there, so I want to kind of blow it out. I'll probably just cover this with plastic, blow out all the crap in there. I have some chassis paint from Eastwood that I'm gonna try to get up in there and spray. I'm gonna really have to cover up everything though, because that stuff is messy. I tried a little bit over here where I got things taped off, and yeah, it was splattering all over the place. It was not a super good time, so I might try that. If all else fails, then I'll just get in there as best I can with a POR15. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna get started on that cross member like I was saying, and I have some other smaller parts I want to finish up painting and everything, but that's pretty much it for the floorboard, guys. I have a lot more work to do, so there's definitely going to be more videos coming on this whole process, but thank you for watching, and please make sure you subscribe so you can see the progress as it's made. Later, guys.